competitors, so we'll be keeping an eye on them.
Stand by.
And we are underway here, Heat 3, event number 3 at the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games South Regional.
Chad, this is a very high-skilled triplet. I mean, if you are a gymnast, this is the event that you know that you need to knock out of the park. You've got to capitalize when your event comes up. And so if any of these guys have gymnastics background, they really need to make up some ground on the leaderboard using this event as a springboard to do so.
They'll start out with 36 and they'll go 45, ending up with 54.
We see Scott Tetlow down there in lane number 1, making his way first, but already having a little trouble. And then we see in lane number 3 there, Casey in red, looking confident.
Now this has a lot of handstand walks in it. They've got to walk down, do the pistols, and then they've got to walk back. So I think that one of the keys to this event really is going to be able to see how well you can manage the fatigue with that handstand walk. It's hard to breathe when you're inverted and you're already tired. Not to mention all the work that these guys have done with their upper bodies yesterday leading into today's events.
1 minute gone by in the 13-minute cap. There's Hecht in lane 6.
So that first round is 36 one-legged squats. We also call them pistols.
And Justin, we see an aggressive judging standard here, or at least the judges are very active in their judging. What are they looking for?
What they're looking for is the crease of that hip needs to go lower than the height of the kneecap on the one leg that they're balanced on. And then, of course, they've got to stand up straight and tall and open that hip all the way at the top.
Again, that is Vinny Casey there in lane number 3. He was 196th worldwide in the Open this year. Very confident.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that it would be smart at this point to come down, shake the shoulders out, take a few of those valuable seconds and not blow those shoulders out too much. The last thing you want to do is get halfway up that ramp and then fall down and then have to make up that ground all over again.
And there's Casey we see in the red making his way back to the ring muscle-ups.
So each round they still perform 9 muscle-ups. It's only on the pistols that they have to do more reps each round.
Beginning round number 2 of 3, 9 muscle-ups. Then those handstands.
Casey moved to Colorado after graduating from the University of Delaware in 2017. His first year competing in the South region.
Not having any problem with the muscle-ups. Wow, and this is what I'm talking about. If you've got an event that lines up with your strengths, you really need to make hay when you can. And it looks like that's exactly what he's doing. He is setting a blazing time.
Again, 3 minutes and 15 seconds gone by. Let's go down to Mike on the floor. Mike?
Guys, the handstand obstacle is actually designed by a regional team athlete competing for East Valley CrossFit this weekend. Andy Tim, he's a former gymnast at Arizona State and the West Coast sales manager for American Athletic, and he created the apparatus. He told me that the surface of the obstacle has more tack or grip, and the foam is more dense than typical gymnastics mat.
Thank you, Mike. We're looking at Casey there in the red. And he has shown proficiency when handling these handstand walks.
You know, your center of gravity really shifts on that ramp. You know, you're going from a flat surface to now an incline, but then the steps. So you've got to navigate your way through 3 different surfaces, and it's a bit tricky.
That's lane 4 in second place, Lance Castle. And last check, he was about 15 seconds behind our leader, Vinny Casey.
I like how Lance just paused for just a second to collect himself before he started to descend those stairs. I think that was smart rather than rushing it and risk falling down.
So Casey moving along with his pistols.
Notice a lot of athletes will have weightlifting shoes just because they've got a flat platform sole on the shoe gives them just a little bit more stability when they're on one leg.
It's still that same 1, 2, and 3. Vinny Casey, Lance Castle, and Nick Hitch.
Coming up on the 5-minute mark, again, that is Vinny Casey in the red. He's in the lead right now, and Lance Castle directly next to him. He's in second place right now, roughly 15 to 20 seconds behind where he is.
Sometimes you can get in a rhythm on those pistols. And a lot of these athletes have done so many of them that they know exactly where they need to place that other leg to counterbalance themselves and stay in rhythm. You can see him kind of sticking that one leg that's up in the air kind of out in front to counterbalance his weight on the other side.
So Castle coming up just towards the center of your screen. Casey still in the lead.
Castle making up some time here as Casey was to finish up 45. There you go. As he looks over at that obstacle.
Now you got to try this, Justin, and I know that you didn't get a lot of time to try, but what were your impressions of it?
Well, I was struck by how much my weight did shift on the ramp part. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm an awesome gymnast or anything, but I can walk on my hands okay on flat surface, but this threw a real wrench in my handstand walking, and I found that not only did my weight shift, but I had a kind of a hard time just staying on the ramp and not going off at an angle.
We see Lance Castle there, skins coming up on the inside of Vinny Casey, and now we see Castle. If he makes it clean up and over the obstacle, he is in the lead now.
Well, he's got that part figured out. Man, that's just showing the control by being able to pause and catch his balance there before he continued on. That's impressive.
Flirting with the if I had mentioned, but he is already on to the muscle-ups, and he's going to give himself about a 10 to 15 second lead on Vinny Casey.
7 minutes in.
7 minutes gone by, 13-minute cap. Event 3, Heat 3 of the men's individual competition at the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games South Regional.
Okay, so it looks like he's breaking up those muscle-ups. Where we saw Vinny Casey just go all the way through on his last round. He went through all 9 unbroken.
Again, that's Lance Castle. Center screen, and then we see Vinny Casey coming up, so he's getting through.
Yeah, he went unbroken on that set of 9 muscle-ups. Casey did in the red shirt.
Here comes Castle as well, and Castle will retake the lead, getting out to the obstacle first.
First he does. So Lance Castle taking back the lead.
And back into the lead, cleanly over the yellow line.
He knows this is the last time that he can try.
Takes a quick look back to see where Vinny Casey is. That's Lance Castle that's in the lead that did that.
Far left of your screen in the red top, you see Casey having a little trouble. And now we've got Castle in the lead, trying to hold on. This is one, Justin, where the physical display of just exertion and maybe overall aggravation you can really feel.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've already done work here in this event, but keep in mind they did an awful lot of work yesterday, and that all takes its toll if you're not recovering, the right way. They've got to be really strategic with their rest and how they break up this handstand walk.
And Castle recovers cleanly as he makes his way back out to the pistols. Again, we've got a 13-minute cap, and we are approaching the 9-minute mark. Here comes Vinny Casey in lane 3, trying to reel in Lance Castle.
I've been impressed on how Vinny Casey in the red shirt has been doing on those pistols. He really seems to get in a rhythm, and he can just pound through them really, really quick.
So Casey's trying to catch Castle, but Castle still reps ahead.
When the race is this tight, those no reps start to really be costly. You don't want to have any of those no reps. Notice Lance Castle on the right there. He actually grabs his toe just to keep that heel from touching on the ground and getting one of those costly no reps.
So again, Casey on the left, he's in second, trying to catch up with Lance Castle, who is on the right of your screen with no shirt.
Casey moves Castle, who's coming up on 10 minutes.
And Jorge Aragon is the time to beat, 9:48.45. So you can see these guys are already over the 10-minute mark. And Aragon was simply superb on the obstacle.
Yeah, he was.
Separating himself a little bit more from Casey. He's almost there. That judge keeping a watchful
But
eye.
Casey's right there. Or Castle across the line. So Castle takes heat number 3. Now here's Casey. Down to his last pistols now. We see Rodriguez just a couple of lanes over, coming up in lane number 5. Casey needed some encouragement. He's getting someone breathing down his neck now in the form of Rodriguez, but Casey gets across, 2 minutes clear of the cap. Here's Rodriguez. Third in the heat right now. And he'll come across in 11:23. Lane 8, that's Weston Neiman. And Castle again, our Heat 3 winner for event number 3. 10:27.76. And out there in lane 8, that's Weston Neiman. Shirtless with the American flag shorts.
And look how fast Neiman is cycling those pistols, those one-legged squats. He's really kicking it into gear because he knows he's fast approaching that time cap.
He's also using the momentum from his upper body nicely.
Yeah, I don't think it was the pistol portion of this event that held him up.
So he'll come in just about 12:14. That's Andrew Cifelli in lane 10. He's got 30 seconds. And he'll come across underneath the cap. Down in lane 1, we're looking at Scott Tedlow. He's got 15 seconds. I don't think he's going to be able to get those 18 reps out in the final 10 seconds, but he'll give it a go.
He will get credit for every rep that he completes.
3, 2, 1, time!
And there is the cap. Lance Castle getting the Heat 3 win here of event number 3.
You know, very impressive was Lance Castle. I mean, that handstand walk, obviously not showing to have any problems with the handstand walk. Vinny Casey up and over that first obstacle. He was smart in the way that he broke up his handstand walk as well. Vinny Casey really jumped out to the lead early because he was fast on the pistols, but really he went unbroken, I think, on all three sets of his muscle ups. He just pounded through those 9 muscle ups and having no problem at all. But Lance Castle, I think that he was able to pull ahead because he really kept his brakes minimized on the handstand walk, and he showed great control there. Up and over those obstacles, he started to break up the muscle ups, but every time he took a break, it was a really short break. And I think that's a smart strategy that he used. He was able to, manage the fatigue on those handstand walks and get a no rep there. But he got right back up into that handstand walk and then made good on getting over that obstacle. Pushed it hard to the end and made those pistols count, got across the line and won this heat.
30 seconds.
All right, well, it's time for us now to get into heat number 4 of event number 3.